reproduction in plants. So before starting the chapter, let me discuss some general thing about the topic. What do you mean by reproduction? Generally, if we will talk about the general meaning of reproduction, reproduction is generally producing young one of own kind. When two parents produce young one of their own kind, we call it as reproduction. So why organisms undergo reproduction? To what? Survive their species. Okay, generally all individuals of their species undergo reproduction to extend their species, to they produce young one of their kind to make their species go long. If they will stop reproducing, what will happen? If reproduction will be stopped, then the generation will not be continued further. Okay, so reproduction is a necessary event in the lifespan of an organism. So here a definition also I have written. Reproduction means producing young one of the same kind. Okay, remember this, same kind. Producing young one of same kind. Same kind means same as that of the parent. Okay, we call it as reproduction. So there are two means of reproduction. There are two types of reproduction, you can say. One is a sexual mode of reproduction and another is asexual mode of reproduction. Okay, if we will talk about the mode of reproduction, there are two modes of reproduction, sexual and asexual mode of reproduction. First, here we will discuss about asexual reproduction, then we will come to sexual reproduction. So as here we are discussing reproduction in plants, here only we will discuss about the sexual and asexual reproduction of plants. In the next chapter we will have about animals. So what is asexual reproduction? Asexual reproduction means, first point, there is involvement of single parent. The first point for asexual reproduction is involvement of single parent. But in sexual reproduction, involvement of two parent. In asexual reproduction, only single parent is involved to produce young one. But in sexual reproduction, there are the involvement of two parents to produce young one. This is the first distinguishing point. Second point for asexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, there will be no fusion of male gamete and female gamete. Okay, we will talk about gametes in our next topic in sexual reproduction. Generally, males produce a gamete, we can call it as a sperm, and female produce a gamete, we can call it as ovum or egg. So, in asexual reproduction, there will be no fusion of gametes of male and female. As here only single parent is involved, there will be no fusion of gametes. But in sexual reproduction, as there is a involvement of two parents, so two gametes are involved. There is a fusion of two gametes, okay, to produce a young one. This is the second distinguishing feature. The third distinguishing feature is that in asexual reproduction, the young ones that are produced, they look exactly like their parent. We can call it as clone. Okay, remember the term clone means copy, Xerox copy. In asexual reproduction, the young one produced from the parent looks exactly like the parent. But in sexual reproduction, there will be little variation in the young one because there it involves two parents and obviously the characteristics of two parents will come. You can take a very simple example. We ourselves, or just take an example of yourself. The appearance of yours and your sister or brother or with your father or mother, is it exactly equal? No. You somehow look like them, but you are not exactly like them. Okay? So, in asexual reproduction, the young one produced looks exactly like the parents and the characteristics both morphologically and anatomically. Morphologically means externally, appearance wise also they look same, and internal organization also the same for asexual reproduction. But in sexual reproduction, they have somehow some distinguishing features from the parent. Got it? So this is the mode of reproduction. Two modes of reproductions are there, sexual and asexual. Here three distinguishing features you can write. First, what we can write for asexual reproduction? Single parent. Here what? Two parent. Two parents. No fusion of gametes. But here we can write fusion of what? Gametes. Another last point what we can write? Here only I am writing clone. Clone means exact copy of the parents. The offspring or the young one produced in asexual reproduction looks exactly like its parents. Here I am writing different. Okay. So these are the three distinguishing features we can write for sexual mode of reproduction and asexual mode of reproduction. So first we will start asexual reproduction in plants. Okay. So as we have discussed, in asexual reproduction only involvement of single parents. So let's have an overview of asexual reproduction and some mode of asexual reproduction here we will discuss. The first kind of reproduction here we are discussing asexual reproduction is binary fission. Okay, binary fission is the first mode of asexual reproduction here we are discussing. So what is binary? Binary means two. What is fission? Fission means to divide. Okay, the general meaning of binary means two and fission means to divide. So combinedly we can call, if the parent cell will divide into two equal half, we call it as binary fission. Here we can take the example of bacteria. Bacteria generally undergo binary fission. So how? If we can see, if this is the parent body, okay, if this is the parent bacteria, here is a nucleus and here is the other cytoplasmic content. Okay. So a young parent body, after the full growth of the body, the parent body undergo binary fission. So what things takes place? After the maturation, the nucleus, at first, the nucleus starts dividing. Okay? The division of nucleus starts at first. Okay? You can see by the middle, nucleus starts dividing. Then, full detachment or fully developed nucleus. How many nucleus? Two nucleus. Okay. So here detachment of nucleus. You can see the nucleus, the single nucleus now divides to two. Now the division of cell starts. Okay. We can call it as furo. Okay. The formation, the starting, the division part of the cell, we can call it as formation of furo. Okay. The division starts. And at last, the two cells gets separated. This is one bacterial cell with a nucleus with it, and this is one bacterial cell with a nucleus with it. Got it? Now see, a single parent divide to two daughter cells. We call these cells as parental cell or parent cell, and these cells are called daughter cells. Okay? So here you can see a single nucleus divides into two nuclei and a single cell divides into two cells, resulting in the formation of two daughter cells. This is called binary fission. Generally it takes place in bacteria. In amoeba also it undergo binary fission. So what about multiple fission? Binary means two, means multiple means more or many. If you will talk about multiple fission, it's not there in your book. I am just giving example for your knowledge. Okay. Suppose we can take a cell if this is a cell and this is the nuclei or nucleus. So what happened when the environmental condition will be not suitable for the cell? Means when adverse environmental condition arises, extreme hot or extreme cold, that will be not suitable for their body, they will develop a kind of envelope. Okay, they will develop a kind of envelope over their body. We call it a cyst. Okay, the development of tough covering over their body, we call it a cyst, and this process is called encystation. So the development of a hard or tough covering over their body, and inside the parent body, this nucleus starts dividing rapidly. Okay, and more numbers of nuclei are formed. You can see from single nucleus, number of nuclei, 4 or 5 or 6 or 10, number of nuclei they will form, and each nuclei will again be surrounded by a cell wall. Okay, like a parent cell only. Okay, will again be surrounded with a cell wall. Now when again the environmental condition will be alright, the cyst will break and all the daughter cells, they will come out. Okay, all the daughter cells, they will come out, and each daughter cell will grow into a new chlamydomonas. So this is a kind of multiple fission. Don't get confused. Don't have any confusion, because it is not there in the book. Only the name is given. Multiple fission takes place in chlamydomonas. So this is actually multiple fission. Here in binary fission you can compare. Here in binary fission, the parent nucleus divided into two daughter nuclei. Binary means 2. And in multiple fission, the parent nucleus divides into more number of daughter nuclei, resulting in the formation of number of daughter cells, which later on they will grow into a single parent cell. Again they will undergo fission. So this is a kind of asexual reproduction takes place in bacteria. Binary fission takes place in bacteria, and multiple fission, an example I have given, chlamydomonas. Okay, so this is about binary fission. Now come to budding. This is another mode of reproduction. Okay. So if we will talk about budding, then we can see in budding, simple, on the parent body, suppose this is a parent body, there will be an outgrowth over the body. This is the nucleus. Okay, they will form an outgrowth over their body, and gradually this outgrowth also contains a nucleus and cytoplasmic contents. And when they get mature, when the outgrowth, we call it as bud. Okay, this is known as a bud. When the bud will get mature, it will then detach from the parent body. And now separately it will develop into a young organism. And generally budding we can see in yeasts. Okay, yeasts undergo budding. Simple, they will develop a bud-like structure. They will develop an outgrowth over their body, and after maturation of that bud, it will gradually get detached from the parent body, and again separately it will develop into a new organism. Next, come to fragmentation. Fragmentation, one example we can take spirogyra. Okay, so if we will take the example of spirogyra is generally ribbon-like structure. Okay, this is actually the structure of spirogyra. Okay, it contains several cell organelles. In the higher class, we will have the study about spirogyra. So, what happened in spirogyra? The parent body of spirogyra will divide into number of fragments. Okay, they will divide into number of fragments. This is called fragmentation, and each fragment will develop into a new spirogyra. Very simple. The parent body will undergo division, or we can call it as fragmentation, and each fragment, each small fragment will develop into a new spirogyra. So this is called fragmentation. We have discussed about binary fission, budding and fragmentation. Next come to spore formation. Spore formation is also very simple. Generally we can see this in a fern, okay, or mosses. This spore formation generally takes place. So what happened? By the lower side of their leaves, okay, by the lower side of their leaves, they will develop small pores, okay, which will be enclosed within a sac-like structure. We call it sporangiospore. Okay, later on we will have a study of this. So they bear leaves, and down to their leaves they will have spores over their leaves, and that spore after maturation will get detached, or actually what happened, the sac will burst. Okay, if there will be, this will be a spore sac, and these are the spores. Then after maturation of the spores, the sac will break and the spores will come out. Okay, some spores will fall down and develop into a new plant, and sometimes spores also taken away to some place by wind or by water, and there they develop into new plant. This is called spore formation. Okay, so again I am repeating. Binary fission, parent body will divide into two daughter cells. Sometimes also they undergo multiple fission, where the parent body will develop number of daughter cells. Budding, the parent body will develop a outgrowth, we call it as a bud. Okay, and this bud after maturation get detached from the parent body and develop into a new organism. Fragmentation, in fragmentation the parent body will convert its body into small fragments. Okay, and each fragment will develop into a new organism. And in spore formation, the lower leaves will contain what? Spores, small spores which will be very lightweight, and it will be carried out to some other place by wind or water, and there they will grow into a new plant. So these are some kinds of asexual reproduction. Now the last one comes vegetative propagation. Okay, vegetative propagation. Separately I am telling you the meaning of the word vegetative propagation. First, let's talk what is vegetative. See, if we will see a plant, plants contains two parts, vegetative parts and reproductive part. So you know very well what is the reproductive part of plant? Flower. Flower contains male and female organ of a plant. We will have study after this. Okay. So flowers are the reproductive part of a plant, but stems, roots and leaves, these are the vegetative parts of plants. Means the parts of plants which do not undergo sexual reproduction, we call them as vegetative part. Only flower of a plant can undergo sexual reproduction in plants. But other than flower, like stem, roots and leaves, they cannot undergo sexual reproduction. Rather, they can undergo, in some plant, they can undergo what? Asexual mode of reproduction. So when asexual reproduction takes place in vegetative parts of plant, we call it as vegetative propagation. So what is propagation? Already we have discussed about vegetative. What is vegetative part? So what is propagation? Propagation means taking from one place to other. Suppose take an example of rose plant. Okay. So what commonly we are doing? We can cut the stem of a rose plant. We are taking the cutted stem and we are putting or placing it in another place in a ground. So there again a new rose plant will develop. So cutting the stem and taking the stem to some other place is known as propagation. Propagation means to take from one place to other place. This is called propagation. So vegetative propagation means taking the vegetative parts of plant and put it in some other place to grow a same kind of plant is known as vegetative propagation. Understood what is vegetative? Vegetative parts. What are the vegetative parts? Stems, roots and leaves are generally the vegetative parts of a plant. When we take the vegetative part of the plant and put it in some other place so that it can take, so that a new plant can be developed from the cutted part. We call it as what? Vegetative propagation. So vegetative propagation also takes place in stem, leaf and root. Okay, three vegetative part we will take here. We will also talk about the vegetative propagation in stem, vegetative propagation in leaf and vegetative propagation in roots. So first one, okay, before going to that, let me tell you, vegetative propagation takes place naturally and also it can be artificial. So what is natural vegetative propagation means? Naturally the vegetative part of the plant will get detached from the parent plant and it will develop into a new plant. But in artificial vegetative propagation, we, human, we are taking out the vegetative part as just now I gave you the example of rose. We are cutting the stems and we are taking out the stem and place it in other place. But if the stem will get detached by itself and there only it will grow into a new plant, then it will be natural. Understood? Natural vegetative propagation occurs in a natural manner. Means naturally the vegetative part will get detached from the plant and it will develop a new plant. But in artificial vegetative propagation, we have to take out the vegetative part and we will propagate into some other place and there it will develop a new plant. So first we will discuss about natural, then we will go to artificial vegetative propagation. So in natural vegetative propagation, first we will talk about the natural vegetative propagation by stem. Okay. So if we will talk about some modified stems, we can talk about ginger, we can talk about onion, and we can also talk about potato. Already I think you have studied this part, modified stem, modified leaves, modified roots. Okay, so here we will take modified stems for vegetative propagation. Suppose at first take an example of ginger. If you will see a ginger, then you might have observed, okay, in a ginger you might have observed there are like this structure on its over its body. What is this? These are nodes. I think already you are acquainted with these words. This topic is in your class 6. Okay, so if this is a plant, if you will take, these are the nodes of the plants from where the leaves will emerge. Okay, these are the nodes of the plant. Okay. So here ginger also contains nodes, as ginger is a stem. Stems contains node. In sugarcane it is clearly visible. In bamboo tree it is clearly visible. Okay. So ginger contains nodes over its body. And if you will little rub ginger, then you can find some scale-like structure. It will come out from ginger. That is its leaf. We call it a scale leaf. Okay. So towards the side of the node, sometimes it develops a kind of bird. Okay, you might have observed in ginger. Sometimes it develops a small bird from the node. That bird is only help for vegetative propagation in ginger. So when we will take a ginger and when we will put it on soil and after 9 to 10 days, we have to sprinkle water regularly, and after 9 to 10 days when we will observe, then there will be an outgrowth from the bird. Okay, this is the outgrowth, leaf-like structure. Okay, a leaf-like outgrowth, a leaf will emerge from the bird, and this is only called as vegetative propagation by stem. The same it will take place in potato also. You might have seen sometimes potato have a small bird over it. We call it as potato eye. Okay, that bird, when we will put it inside soil, that bird will develop into a leaf. That bird will give rise to leaf. So from the stem we can develop new plants. Okay, so when we can throw or we can put ginger or potato inside the soil, they will develop a new plant from their birds. Okay, that bird is called as vegetative bird. Okay, this vegetative bird gives rise to leaves. Got it? So this is what? Natural vegetative propagation by stem. So next, by leaf, natural vegetative propagation by leaf. Very simple and common example, bryophyllum leaf. Some of you might also have in your garden. This is a what? Bryophyllum leaf. Okay. If you can see on the margin of the leaf, again small leaves are developed. Okay. Again like this structure. So when the margin of the parent leaf will contain small leaves along with root, after some days it will get detached from the parent plant and fall down. As it also contains root, it will again grow into a new bryophyllum plant. Okay, this is the vegetative propagation by leaf. Naturally it occurs. It will get detached from the parent leaf and down it will fall and it will grow into a new parent plant or bryophyllum plant. This is known as what? Vegetative propagation, natural vegetative propagation by means of leaf. And remember one term, these things, the new plant, here the new leaf, these are called propagules. Okay, the new offspring or the young one produced from the parent one by vegetative propagation, we call this propagules. Okay, remember this. Now by roots, we can take a simple example of carrot. We can take simple example of sweet potato. So actually carrots, sweet potatoes, that are roots, that are modified roots. So the roots of carrots or sweet potato, if you will see, they get swollen. Already we have discussed, I think we have learned about tap roots and fibrous roots. So when the tap roots get swollen, okay, when the tap roots get swollen, they will form, okay, like this structure. These are the root hairs. This is the taproot and these are the small or secondary roots arises from the taproot. So when the taproot gets swollen to reserve food, that kind of root we call it as modified root. And when this kind of roots like sweet potato or carrot we will put inside the soil, they will develop into a new plant. Okay, they will emerge leaf. Okay, they will emerge leaf over it and they will develop into a new plant. One unique feature with carrot, remember, carrot in the first year of its development, it develops the shoot. Okay, and in the second year of its development, it develops flowers and it undergo sexual reproduction. And at the end of the second year, it will die. Again I am repeating, in the first year of its development, it can undergo vegetative propagation by the help of its root. On the second year, it will develop flowers also. And by the second year, it will die. So here we are talking about by vegetative propagation by roots. So here we can take an example of sweet potato or carrot, where propagation or development of new plants takes place by root. Okay, very simple. Vegetative propagation means the development of new plant from the vegetative part. Okay, so it may be natural, it may be artificial. Here we have discussed the natural kind of vegetative propagation. At first we have discussed about the natural vegetative propagation by stem. Okay, stems can undergo vegetative propagation by leaf and by root. So this is a type of vegetative propagation. So what all asexual reproduction we have discussed? Vine elimination, budding, fragmentation, spore formation and vegetative propagation. So these are some examples of asexual reproduction. So now easily you can tell what all are the advantages and disadvantages of what? Asexual reproduction. If we will talk about the advantages of asexual reproduction, then in asexual reproduction, within a short time, there will be a development of more offspring or new young organism. Okay, in binary fission we can see, in budding we can see, fragmentation, vegetative propagation. Within a short period of time, there will be a development of new individual. Again, in vegetative propagation, the offspring or the young one produced, as we have discussed, they look or they have the identical property of their parents. They look alike as their parent. So these are some advantages of vegetative propagation. There are also some disadvantages of vegetative propagation. What are the disadvantages? As they look exactly like their parents, we cannot get a new variety. We will get only the same varieties of plants. Okay, this may be one disadvantage. Another disadvantage it may be, as in vegetative propagation, take the example of diaphragm leaf. Okay, as the leaf or the propagule, it get detached and developed on the same place within a limited area only, there will be more competition among the plants. Okay, in if you will talk about the vegetative propagation, in vegetative propagation the propagules will not go further, or it will not spread apart. Rather, they will be in a limited space, and there will be a struggle among the plants for survival or for food. Okay, so these may be some disadvantages. Again, some more advantages and disadvantages you can find out and you can write. Okay, so here today we have discussed about what asexual reproduction in plants. In asexual reproduction, some modes of reproduction or some kinds of asexual reproduction we have discussed. Just again go through it, remember the examples. Okay, and it is very simple and very easy. Just once go through it, make a note, short notes you make, and by the side of your notes you draw the diagrams also, so that it will be easy for you while reading. You can refer the diagram and you can easily notice the point of your topic. Okay, so in our next class we will talk about the sexual reproduction in plants. Thank you.